thank you for your contribution to this effort, especially I know you've been studying this for years, and for your part of this package. I think if we can get this package moving in the Senate, it will make a big difference, and we'll be able to save a lot of money quickly.
Thank you for having me here too, Kim. I appreciate that. I didn't have a bill in the package of bills you have, but I am very concerned because the same thing Senator White said, basically in my area, Newcastle area, people can drive 10 or 15 miles to get methadone, and they drive 45 miles to do it. And it's the same thing, 5 or 6 people pile into one car and they all collect for the mileage for the same, all driving the same car. And when we brought this up to the DEP Secretary's attention, and they sort of kind of didn't really, seem to care a whole lot, but then they come out with this new initiative where they were going to check the mileage and stuff. They did a pilot program they started in January, and I'm glad to hear that is working out okay, and hopefully that'll be something that DPW will continue on with through the rest of the counties throughout the Commonwealth, because it's something I believe that also, is the taxpayers' dollars that are being spent here, and they're being spent frivolously, and there just needs to be more checks and balances in the issue that if one person drives a car, you should be able to tell them, show me your car. 6 people pull up and, where's your car? It's that simple question to ask somebody is, 6 people are standing here and I see one car in the parking lot. How did you get here? Where's your car? Why should you get a mileage check for riding with somebody else? It's something that I believe is that simple that you could save a lot of money just by asking a couple simple questions. And why they won't ask the questions, I don't understand, but it's something hopefully that in your package of bills that we will be able to address and get the DPW to realize that serious amounts of taxpayer dollars are being frivolously spent here, and something needs to be done about it.
Have any of your elected officials contacted you about this? Any of your county commissioners or any
Yes,
officials?
I've had people from the county. My county commissioners have talked to me about it, as well as other people from the health commission there in Lawrence County. They've talked to me about it. They're, like I said, they're concerned, and they're the ones that have brought to my attention the people that they could drive 20 miles up into Mercer County and get the methadone, but they choose to drive clear down into Cranberry and Butler County to do it. And so everybody's very concerned about it because the county ends up paying part of the bill as well. So, in times like this, when the budgets are tight for everybody, money being spent like this, they can't afford to spend. So, yes.
Mm-hmm. Senator White, there was something that happened in your county that brought this to your attention, and it is relevant because part of this package of bills, in these bills, are to help protect the people that are using this right now.
Well, it's been proven that there are side effects to these drugs. It's not heroin, but it's a clinical version of a drug. And we had an incident actually it was in Clearfield County, up near Mahaffey, where a grandmother was pushing her granddaughter or grandson in a stroller along a highway. Not a long period of road that she was exposing herself to, but anyhow, the recently treated methadone patient just climbed into her car and was heading wherever and ran them over. Both were killed. And I'm pretty sure that the recommendations of methadone treatments say that they don't want you driving a car for a minimum of 6-8 hours. So, what a tragic loss, and it was a community of people that were very well known, and it was just horrible. And as a result, the private sector response to this, helped shut down that clinic. Even though there were people out there that needed the treatment, the outrage was such that they ended up shutting that clinic down.
Those kind of stories are they break your heart. And then when you look at the bigger picture of us really not doing anything to stop this by agreeing, because of, as you mentioned, no oversight, agreeing to just continue to pay to keep people maintenance instead of recovery-based approach. It really is quite unbelievable. I did get a number yesterday from Secretary Harriet Dichter, who said that we spend in Pennsylvania on the actual drug every year about $44 million. That's just on the drug. I do believe the transportation costs are going to be much greater than that. And I also know that in the pots, you have some federal money and some state money and some local money, but it's all coming from our pockets. It doesn't matter which pot that comes from. So hopefully, as we move forward with this resolution and these bills, we'll be able to see exactly what we are paying. We don't have money to take care of our roads. We don't have money for cadet class. We're cutting food banks. We're cutting domestic violence shelters. We're cutting many worthy projects, but we're paying for this. Don't you just wonder sometimes, how does our government come up with their priorities? How does this kind of thing happen?
You know, you look at the amount of mandates we've passed on, and during these difficult financial times, we've asked our counties to do more and more. And you, as a former county commissioner, understand that probably better than anyone. And here was a lady that came to me with a county employee who was just frustrated with the fact that she saw this abuse going on, wrote letter after letter after letter to Secretary Richmond and members of employees of the DPW, and received no help or response. And basically, when we even had a face-to-face meeting, the response was, "Oh, I know that the transportation, it's just a small part of the DPW budget, but what about that poor lady that really needs that transportation to the hospital that lives in the center city of Philadelphia?" That's not what we're talking about. Those people still need and will get those services. But why are we just turning our head and ignoring these basic incremental fixes that could be done, especially if there was given some local control, and not being administered out of Harrisburg? Let our local people take care of this issue, monitor this issue, so that we can control these abuses. And that's all they are. It's fraud. It's outright fraud. It's not mistakes. It's fraud.
It is. It is. I agree. Well said. I haven't called it fraud yet. That's good, Don. Beat me to it. Senator Vogel, up in the area that you serve, I've heard that one of your counties in particular has a much bigger problem with this methadone than others. Have you?
Yeah, I believe Lawrence County, Newcastle in particular, has a huge problem with the methadone. That's what I was referring to before when I was talking to you about this. And they get the low, large doses because the clinics aren't open on the weekends. So some of them out here actually bring the doses home, and they sell part of their doses to other drug addicts or whatever for other monies. And so you're defeating the purpose. You're supposed to be having the drugs for you to have for the weekend, but they bring them home and they resell them because they give them a larger amount for a couple of days when the clinics aren't open. So I believe part of the bills you discussed this morning were to keep the clinics open 7 days a week, and I believe that should be part of what should be done.
I mean, how much do you and I, or Elder, how much do we know about methadone? And we don't, and it's all around us. I mean, it's all around us, and it's legal.
Paid for by us. Legal, paid for by us.
And we really don't know nothing about it. And when you think about it, all the dramatic changes and improvements that are made in medicine, methadone, that's the Cadillac. I mean, it's been around since the 70s, I believe, maybe before that. And so here it is. It's all around us. There's clinics spread across the state, and we know there is really no accountability to us or anybody that I know of. Maybe the Department of Health, I don't know. But you have people running around, driving cars, potentially under an influence of a drug that, while it's helping them, at the same time is a serious, potentially debilitating drug. And I think we need to get our arms around this before something as tragic as happened in Clearfield County happens in Westmoreland and in Beaver and everywhere around us.
Well, you're right. And thank you so much. And hopefully what we're trying to do here will pass through the Senate quickly, and we'll be on our way. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Kim. Thank you for having us here.
Thank you. I'd like to thank my colleagues, Senator White and Senator Vogel, today for joining me to discuss this really important issue that's on the front burner, obviously. At least it is in our area of southwestern Pennsylvania.